then moved on. He never built beyond that level. He never built up in his career at all. He got an ego stroke from Elon when he left Fox News to come on X or take the money, and he decided to go with X because he would get 150 million followers very quickly. So that's how he made decisions. He's a talking head, basically. But he's never moved into management. He's never demonstrated that capability. If he had that capability, he would have been moving up the food chain. He didn't.
What do you mean he managed a huge show on Fox News for years that made him $100 million? The guy is incredibly successful.
But he was never in the executive level.
With the guy in the suit in the control booth, the guy still is a businessman. I mean, it's so easy to, criticize Tucker Carlson, but for God's sakes, he's one of the only talking heads that point out anything of any real substantial interest.
Well,
he's a businessman. I mean, it's so easy to, criticize Tucker Carlson, but for God's sakes, he's one of the only talking heads that point out anything of any real substantial interest.
Well, I would say that he's very biased. A lot of
Hold on. Southern, what interest, John, is it in discussing anything at all regarding some avant-garde person that nobody's ever met, which is the Shia KGB trained nun, allegedly from the West Bank, that beat up monks with Arafat, who nobody's heard of in 25 years. What strategic benefit was her interview? Or the Liberation Theology Lutheran priest, who's not a priest, but he's the pastor, supposedly from Bethlehem, that lied the entire interview with Tucker. What strategic benefit was bringing Robert I'm sure you heard what I was saying. Were any of those interviews? What was the strategic benefit, for example, of bringing on Jeffrey Sachs 3 different times, never asking him anything about China, Russia, Iran, or anything like that? What was the strategic benefit of having Pezeshkian from Iran on his show and not asking him a single time, why do you consistently chant death to America and walk on the American flag? Why did you kidnap U.S. hostages? Why did you launch a war? Why did we give you all this money for the JCPOA and you used it for your ballistic missile program? Why do you need to enrich to 60-something% if you have no desire to have any type of nuclear weapons? Why did you fund Hamas to do a terrorist attacks and fund Hezbollah? Why does Hezbollah, Iranian-backed proxies on every single State Department watch list in terms of individuals that should be taken out? Why did you guys launch against Israel? Why did you fund that and destroy the Maronite Christian culture inside of Lebanon? Why did you do multiple targeted assassinations against Donald Trump? And even the golf thing, he could have just shown him when they put out a whole meme targeting Trump at the golf course that they were going to kill him while he was playing golf in Florida. He didn't ask him that. Why did he pretend to go to the Russian grocery store and he said, for $100, look all the groceries that I bought, when in Russia they don't make enough money to even spend $100 on the groceries? Why did he promote that? Why didn't he promote the fact that Russia has done more subversive, targeted assassinations and subversion of the U.S. government 10 times the USS Liberty, what Russia's done to America? 10 times of it. 10 times. I have a whole thread on what the Russians did to us during the Soviet Union, and then I have the other thread that's after the Soviet Union. And not only in terms of espionage, but stealing money from us, hacking us. I mean, shooting down planes. I mean, shooting ships, taking U.S. soldiers hostage. Oh my God, it goes on and on and on and on and on. On and on and on. He never asked any of those questions. Why didn't he ask Robert Amsterdam on the other one? Why did he lie and ask Robert Amsterdam, the guy who was on his show, who he speaks to more offline than online? Why did he bring on Daryl Cooper in August, prior to the launch of the campaign for J.D. Vance and Trump, who's a Holocaust revisionist, who literally caused the entire administration to have to scramble to see whether or not they were going to allow themselves to go on Tucker's 16-week tour that was supposed to be promoting people from the cabinet for the rise. They had to have J.D. Vance, the president, all these people make statements, okay, including Don Jr. had to make statements because he brought on Daryl Cooper, who's basically the talking points of David Irving, who's been